What's up, guys? In today's video, we're going to be talking about the FFAR assault rifle. This is the Black Ops Cold War FAMAS that was recently added to Warzone, and a lot of people are actually sleeping on this weapon. It's actually one of the best weapons in the game, but a lot of people don't like it because of the floor loot version. They end up using that, and it gives them a bad first impression. But with the right attachments, this weapon is one of the best in Warzone. If you guys do find this video helpful or informative, please do remember to give it a like and subscribe if you would like to see more content from me. So like I said, I think the Black Ops Cold War FAMAS, the FFAR, is one of the best weapons in Warzone. It's got really good damage and an insane fire rate, which gives it a ridiculous time to kill. Usually weapons have one or the other, like a really good fire rate and kind of like weaker damage, like the MAC-10, or they hit really hard and they have a really slow fire rate. This gun has both. It's going to deal 33 damage to the body, which sounds low, but that's more than a lot of the popular assault rifles in Warzone, like the M4, the Kilo, the Grau, the M13. The FFAR is going to do more damage per bullet than all of them. It doesn't quite do as much damage as things like the AMAX or the AK-47, those heavier assault rifles, but it hits harder than a lot of the medium assault rifles. So it has a good damage, right? And then it also has an insane fire rate of 900 rounds per minute. This is the fastest assault rifle in Warzone. The next highest is the AS-Val, and this is close to the AS-Val in fire rate, but the FFAR is faster. So it's the highest RPM assault rifle in the game, and it actually shoots faster than a lot of the submachine guns. There's many submachine guns in the game that are lower than that fire rate. So you have a ridiculous fire rate, and then like moderate to high damage for an assault rifle, which just gives you a ridiculous time to kill. Obviously, if it has a ridiculous time to kill, there's likely going to be some downsides that come with the weapon just to balance it out. And those two downsides are mainly recoil and the magazine capacity. And that's why a lot of people hate on this weapon because of the floor loot version, because the floor loot version has either no attachments or 1 to 2 attachments, and neither of those attachments really address these weaknesses. It has 25 rounds by default, but you can get that up to 50, which is pretty standard for Warzone. Most ARs, people are running 50 to 60, even 45 rounds in some cases. So 50 with the extended mag is just fine, and we are going to be taking advantage of that. And then the recoil on this gun is pretty high, but with the right attachments, it's definitely manageable, and we're going to get into that loadout in a second. The iron sights on this gun are also really good, which help because you don't have to worry about spending an attachment on an optic, and you could use a sight if you really wanted to, but I think it's best to use iron sights just because the way that this weapon works, what it works best with is a sniper, because you have this really high RPM assault rifle that dominates at like close to medium range, even a little bit long range, but you definitely want to avoid those like 80-meter fights with this weapon. Things like the Kilo or the AMAX, the DMR, the M16, all of those weapons are going to outclass this weapon at range, and that's why it's best to combo it with a sniper rifle. You have your FFAR, which is incredibly versatile and incredibly effective in most engagements, and then you have your sniper for really long-range engagements. I think of it like a Ram 7, but just a little bit better. If you're someone who likes to use an assault rifle with a sniper, I think this is going to be the way to go for you, and that the FFAR is going to be one of your favorite weapons in Warzone. I definitely think this is a top-tier weapon. It's up there. I would put it in S tier with like the AMAX, the Kilo, the MAC-10. It's one of the best weapons in the game. It just has a set niche of mainly being a sniper complement weapon. So we're going to get into the build, and then I'm going to let the gameplay play out so you guys can see more of how it plays in-game. If you guys did find this video helpful or informative, like I said before, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you'd like to see more. Comment down below what you think of this weapon, and I'll see you guys another time. So for our attachments on this FFAR, we're going to be using the agency suppressor, the task force barrel. I know this says it increases damage. It doesn't. It does, however, increase your range and increase your bullet velocity. And one of the things that this barrel does on assault rifles is it decreases your horizontal recoil, but increases your vertical recoil. So vertical recoil is the one that's easier to control, and this gun does have a fair amount of horizontal. So we're going to use this task force barrel to trade some of that vertical for, or I guess to trade horizontal for vertical. You get more up and down, but less left to right, if that makes any sense. And we're going to address that up and down recoil with the bruiser grip. I know it says this does melee quickness, but in reality, this foregrip actually reduces vertical recoil the most. You could also do field agent foregrip. Field agent foregrip does both, but not to the same degree that the bruiser grip does. Really comes down to preference. I would say play with the task force barrel, play with one of these grips, and see if you're having problems with horizontal recoil still. If you are, then put on the field agent, but I found the bruiser grip to be fine. We're then going to be using the Salvo 50 round fast mag. Like I said before, the iron sights are really good. These grips don't do anything of note. And so our final attachment is going to be one of these stocks. You could use the CQB pad. This is going to get your sprint to fire time very nice, or very like much lower than it normally would be. You could use the SAS combat stock, which is going to give you better strafe speed, or you can use the Raider stock, which gives you better strafe speed and better sprint to fire time. It really just comes down to how you feel about the strafe speed. I've yet to get used to the SAS combat stock or the Raider stock, but these are probably the better options if you like put in the time to get used to them. It really just comes down to preference, though, what you want to do with these stocks. So once again, we have Agency Suppressor, the Task Force Barrel, the Bruiser foregrip, the Salvo 50-round fast mag, and then a stock of your choice. The FFAR has been insane, but people, like, it's best when comboed with a sniper. And, like, since the DMRs were so insane, why would you ever want to use a sniper? Whereas now, the DMRs and their snipers might be a little bit more viable, so the FFAR becomes more viable, the Groza becomes more viable. Like, I probably should have put variable on this. I haven't used this in a while. I forget what attachments I used. Always like a domino effect with these guns. What's up, Dallas? The Fortnite FAMAS? Yeah, it is a FAMAS.
Gas is closing. Get to the new safe zone. Enemy UAV overhead.
I need recon on my position.
Gas is closing in.
Look at that, though. I hope that kid wasn't full HP. Like, he just got deleted.
Requesting recon.
UAV entering the AO.
That's probably the DMR kid right there.
Entering the AO. UAV entering the
I
AO.
got the wheel.
We popped that guy in the car's armor, though. That was so dumb. Don't do that.
I need recon on my position.
Pretty sure he's ghost, dude.
UAV entering the AO.
Dude, I thought that AC unit was a person. There's, like, when kids just hide in houses and shit, like. It'd be good. I didn't want to push into this. That might have been the guy that just sniped me. Dude, these windows are pissing me off. Every time I try to snipe somebody, it's a window, and it doesn't one hit to the head through a window. Like, they do just enough damage that, like, any sort of anything stops you from getting a one hit.
Only 5 left.
The guy in this building with a DMR. I think he's up top. Yeah, he is. He just called an airstrike on that car.
Got gas inbound. Safe zone relocation.
No way, dude. That's actually so grief.
Gas is moving.
Call for fire. Target's marked.
This is Striker 3-1, good copy. Strike inbound. Shots missed.
You don't need to reload that.
Gas is inbound. Marking the safe zone.
This is weird.
I don't.
Primary objective
Let's get it.
complete.